Hey everyone, before this video starts, I just want to say I'm sorry for this being the potentially first video that you're seeing by me. And normally I would do gaming content. I'm actually currently editing some videos right now, so just letting you see in the background, shit by midnight. But I just wanted to go over the fact that people are screaming about the Xbox and PlayStation outage without actually telling you guys what's happening. And I just wanted to come in and tell you guys what actually is happening rather than just screaming into the abyss that one is better than the other, because I will say both have their ups and downs, even though Sony is currently dropping the ball and killed Destiny. Why'd you have to fucking old yeller it? Like, seriously. But with that being said, let's do this. Now, our first major thing is going to be here on the Xbox side, where the outage summary says that the Xbox network service went down for more than 13 hours starting on July 27, 2026. This caused widespread disruption worldwide, preventing users from signing in, accessing their accounts, launching games, completing purchases, and using apps and mobile services. Some physical Xbox discs also require online authentication, which is bullshit, and were temporarily unplayable, raising concerns about digital game ownership and access. Now, the thing about all this is that depending on where you were, this affected you differently. Some people actually didn't even have these problems at all. Like for me and some of my friends, such as Zeno, where we live in the States, sadly, we were incapable of playing certain games, such as Pal World. He could not launch it, which was weird, considering I had the game open and I was playing, waiting for him to get on. But he couldn't play it. And when we said, okay, let's just go play something like Monster Hunter, I could not launch Monster Hunter. Some of our other friends could. And that was weird. It said that the outage was causing me to be incapable of playing it. And then an hour later, when I tried it again, I was actually capable of getting on the game, which, once again, is insanely weird. Some people cannot access their Xbox Game Pass library. Like, for instance, I couldn't, but other people could. And for some, the games had an exclamation mark on them, which means that they are currently having issues, are unplayable, or they are no longer on Game Pass and whatnot. Yet, I could still play all of my games that had them on it. And it even came down to some of the Game Pass games, which I could access even though they had that on them and I shouldn't have been able to play them. Some people couldn't even sign in, yet I was having no problems with that. Now, the cause and resolution. Microsoft confirmed that the outage was due to a technical issue affecting core Xbox systems. Engineers quickly identified the source of the problem and worked on resolving it. Though no immediate fix was available at first, after extensive efforts, Microsoft mitigated the issue and all Xbox services were restored by the evening of July 27th, as confirmed by Xbox. Now, I have a feeling the reason why this took so long is because of just how odd this was. In the end, at least things finally got resolved, and we actually got to, well, play again, and we got to play with our friends and actually do things. And to anybody who uninstalled their games, sorry, Zeno, you probably shouldn't have uninstalled Final Fantasy, they can now reinstall them. But to some people, which this goes to why Zeno uninstalled Final Fantasy. Zeno is a friend of mine. You should totally check out his channel. He was playing Final Fantasy and it just kicked him off and he thought it was an uninstall reinstall problem. And come to find out it was a service problem and he kind of screwed himself over. I'm still laughing at you, mate. If you're watching this, I'm laughing at you so hard right now. Sucks to suck. Now let's move on to the user impact and reaction, which is what everybody's currently having right now. The prolonged outage sparked significant frustrations among gamers, particularly because it affected both game access and purchases. Yeah, no shit. I literally tried to purchase the game and yet couldn't. Many users voiced their concerns on social media and requested compensation for the disruption. The outage also reignited discussions about the reliance on digital rights management, specifically since some games require online verification to play. I am going to say that there should be a point where certain games can be played offline and without having to gain access to online stores. Yet, I know that's probably not going to be the case for now on, especially considering, this is in 2008 anymore during the era of Black Ops 2 supremacy where you could still play the game offline. But I do kind of wish we could go back to that. Call me a boomer if you must. And lastly, we are on to the official Xbox statement. Xbox support issued updates acknowledging the significant issue, and later confirmed that users should now be able to sign in, launch games, and complete purchases normally. They also encouraged users to report any lingering problems to ensure full service restoration. In summary, the outage was a rare but significant service disruption affecting Xbox's global user base primarily due to technical issues with Xbox systems. Microsoft has resolved the problems and restored full functionality to the network, though it highlighted broader concerns about cloud dependency and digital game access. Now, I'm going to say we should just briefly take a look at the CEO of Epic Games. If I can remember this correctly, he was the guy who wanted everyone to essentially rent cloud space for gaming, which I'm gonna say this now. I ain't renting my PC. I want to own my PC so I can update it when necessary and play the games I want rather than having to pay you so I can play I don't know, Gods of Victory Nikkei. Let's just go with that. And on to PlayStation's recent massive downtime. We're going to the PlayStation side, and I was having trouble finding things, so I asked Copilot to help me. Don't judge, it is 9:30 in the morning, I woke up at 4, so I genuinely want to go back to sleep. First things first, the outage overview. The PlayStation Network, otherwise known as PSN, suffered multiple internal outages throughout 2026, with a notable incident occurring on the morning of July 24th, 2026. Services went down around 8:30 a.m. Eastern, impacting PS5, PS4, and PS3, and Vita users. The outage locked players out of digital libraries, multiplayer modes, and PlayStation Store, rendering digital games unplayable due to failed license validation. Now, if you had a disc version of a game, assuming it did not require online authentication, you could play the game. And by online authentication, I mean any game that does not require internet access. Now, the affected services and impact. Digital games. Many players cannot launch games requiring service license verification. Account sign-ins and multiplayer. Users experienced authentication failures across platforms. Marvel Tokon Fighter Souls beta, the outage disrupted the planned free beta weekend, coinciding with Sony's upcoming August game launch. Damn, that must have sucked. Good God, if that affected you, I'm sorry. It actually looks like a really peak game, too. Damn. Now on to Sony's response. Despite the widespread issues, Sony's official PlayStation server status page indicated all systems were normal, creating frustration among players. No detailed explanation or root cause was provided immediately, and it remained unclear how long full restoration would take. The outage intensified criticisms concerning Sony's transition to an all-digital future, set to begin in January 2028, as digital games rely entirely on server availability. Now we get to the speculation side of things. I'm going to immediately assume that what happened on PlayStation's end was the same thing that happened on Xbox end. I have no idea. I don't work for Sony. But in the end, hopefully everything's okay on everyone's end so we can all get back to playing games and forgetting about whatever the hell's happening around us and the fact that Sony is being Sony. Now, I'm going to say this as a kind of end of video thing. Sony, you should not be taking a digital-only approach to how things are going. And overall, I don't think Sony is going to listen to any of us because they do not have a good track record of listening as of the recent, I'm going to say, 4-ish years. They have a better track record of doubling down. And we've seen this numerous times. The biggest one is Bungie, Destiny 2, and Marathon. I don't know how Marathon's doing. I haven't played it recently, but I played it when it originally released, and not bad, just kind of bare bones. That being said, I hope you all have a fantastic day, or evening, and I will see all you next time, hopefully.